It seems the timer has been thwarted, brothers. Nice. Okay, yeah, this is a dev on Discord, or at least a dev representative. The team found a solution for the timer already. Was browsing the Discord and saw a dev talking about this in the spoiler thread. Okay, well, that's huge. Now, if you don't know what they're referring to here, the timer was a set timer for endless waves in Siege mode. Basically, after you're done 15 waves, you can continue playing Siege mode, and these are considered endless waves, where they just keep spawning in enemies. And what happened was, apparently, I guess, they would just, keep spawning in enemies, and it would put some extra demand on your systems, in a sense. It could definitely crash your system, depending on, your specs or whatever. I'm not a huge tech guy, so I'm not 100% sure what was going on with the memory or, what the reason for the timer was. I was just kind of, taking the information, talking about it, seeing what everyone thought about it. But hey, you know what? Problem solved, apparently. There's now no more timer in endless waves. Well, you know what? Hold on. They said they found a solution. So I'm not 100% sure what this entails. I'm not 100% sure what they're referring to here. But, I mean, the dev here obviously didn't say, we took out the timer. That is not what they said here. They said the team found a solution for the timer already. So that's nice. Oh, by the way, yes, of course, Siege mode is on the PTS. So, hey, huge PTSW here, which is nice because everyone tried it out, didn't like it. The devs found a solution. Great play, devs. Very glad they are listening to the community. Ultimately, Siege mode is in a very good spot. I really enjoyed Siege mode. I want to play Siege mode right now, but I kind of don't want to, I don't want to play it too much and then have the patch feel familiar. I feel like that's what happened last BTS, where I pretty much played Exfiltration like, oh man, I probably played that over 20 times in the PTS, and then when it came out, like, don't get me wrong, I still had fun, but it just felt a little bit too familiar. Now, obviously, with patch 7, one of the bigger additions was the prestige system. And I think, given Siege mode is coming out soon, I think there's actually a lot to look forward to if you haven't prestige your classes already, because I think normal Siege mode is very approachable for like middle level characters, like Prestige 2, level 13. You're gonna make a deep run in normal Siege mode. It's hard Siege mode where, yeah, the game can get obviously a little intense. And I think with the timer in hard Siege mode, that might have been a little bit too much as far as balance goes. I guess this all really depends on how good your team is. I haven't ran a legitimate team in Siege mode, at least in hard Siege mode. I have not ran a legitimate team. It's pretty much just me and like one other guy for like a couple rounds, and then I just end it, I just go throughout the rest of the waves by myself, or at least that has been the experience with it. But yeah, ultimately, I'm very happy the devs found a solution for the timer. I know some of you guys are glad to hear this because I definitely seen some commenters not very happy about the timer in endless waves. The timer to me, it wasn't really that bothersome when I went into extra waves. I think the highest waves I went into was like wave 20, something like that. The timer was fine for normal mode. I feel like in hard mode, it might be a little bit weird, but hey, we will see. I haven't even jumped into hard mode with like an extra meta build, and don't get me wrong, strategic stand, heavy bolter, heavy, very good. But apparently everyone loves plasma heavy for Siege mode, so hey, maybe I'll try that out when the game launches. I definitely enjoy some plasma heavy, and I do have a Prestige 4 heavy ready to go. I'm pretty sure I have a Prestige 4 heavy and a Prestige 4 tactical ready to go for Siege mode, so I'm extremely excited for that. What are we, 12 days away? Something like that. So hey, this is great news. I do want to see the devs kind of talk about what they found with the PTS a little bit more, because as far as I'm concerned, there's like a handful of bugs, nothing that crazy. I think we had more bugs in patch 7 PTS. I think like one of the only bugs that we talked about recently was, yeah, the power sword stance switch bug. So we will see what the devs decide to do with the next patch. Patch 8 is definitely going to be interesting. I'm very happy that they fixed the timer issue, so that's huge. And yeah, let's go in the comments. Let's see how people react to this. Hopefully, maybe we can get some insight into exactly what the solution could be. But yeah, they did not say that they took out the timer. So I would hold my breath for something like that, but ultimately, if they did take out the timer, that's nice. I mean, honestly, found a solution for the timer does kind of sound like they found a solution for the timer. I think they probably mess with spawns a little bit, so, you know, it doesn't put too much demand on your system and crash it. We will see. We will see. But ultimately, I'm very glad that the devs approached this in a timely manner, and this is not something that they just left in the patch just to have people a little bit frustrated with it. And yeah, honestly, when it comes to optimization, you can never optimize enough, and it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be exciting to see, you know, Siege mode actually release and see everyone kind of receive it. It'll, dude, honestly, Siege mode is going to be very, very time constraining. I'm going to spend a lot of time in Siege mode, so hey, I'm very happy that they took out the timer for it, because I would hate to lose a run because 15 minutes are up or whatever. I want to lose a run because I get smacked into the wall by 3 Carnifexes. That's how I want to lose a run. Man, Saber just keeps giving and giving, and they only charge money for optional cosmetic packs. I've had a few serious complaints about this game, and they've all been addressed. Yeah, I agree. I mean, dude, actually, if we do just take a moment here just to, you know, keep in mind about the complaints from launch to now, like Spore Mines, addressed. Death Beams, addressed. We did have a Spore Mine bug, but they fixed it. We had a parry bug, and they fixed it. Ultimately, I do think the way some of the ways they kind of cut corners with certain cosmetics is getting, you know, it can definitely annoy people. You know, the studded helmet was definitely an issue for a lot of people. But still, you know what? Actually, now that we're on the subject of cosmetics, I like the new community chest piece, but I don't know what Warhammer Plus is, and I'm not paying for it to get a chest piece. That's crazy. Right? Crazy. I really hope they add those chest pieces into the game. I could make a video about this, but I just felt like, you know, I wanted to make sure that we get, you know, the PTS stuff covered. And this is definitely, you know, regarding the PTS, regarding, you know, patch 8. We can talk about chest piece, the Warhammer Plus chest piece later. It does seem like there's a lot of people giving their codes out for it, so that's nice. Glad to see the community can adapt to things that might be less than, you know, less than positive, I would say. I don't see anybody complaining about it, to be honest, but it did kind of annoy me because I like the chest piece and I didn't want to sign up to Warhammer Plus, but I don't know. Hey, if I'm not going to say just put codes down for a chest piece, you know, put codes down for the chest piece in the comments, but let me know if you got the chest piece. But okay, but yeah, as far as the serious complaints, cosmetics to me aren't serious complaints. To me, serious complaints are like what we've been experiencing with Spore Mines during the Spore Mine apocalypse. Death Beams, you know, honestly, Death Beams going through walls is still kind of a bad thing, but ultimately you can gun strike Death Beams now, which is great. You just have to get a little bit better with perfect dodging. But okay, yeah, let's continue. I remember 6 months ago thinking I wish I could change my Bulwark's hood to red to complete my Death Watch or Grey Knight look. And then I logged back in a week and suddenly I can do that. And there's an amazing looking Death Watch shield for Prestige Rank 4. Really? Oh, okay, sheesh. I probably should go check that out. Death Watch shield. Dude, yeah, that's true, right? Isn't there cosmetics for Prestige 4? Oh my god, dude. I hit Prestige 4 with a class and I just move on to the next class and I don't even get to like settle with the Prestige 4 yet. But hey, you know what? We still have a lot of game to go, so there's enough time to enjoy all the cosmetics. A lot of the weapons feel way more balanced now. There's more options available for each class. Plasma Pistol on Assault feels amazing. Heavy Bolt Pistol on Bulwark is Chef's Kiss. And the game hasn't crashed on me once yet. Yeah, I will admit, yeah, performance has been pretty good recently. But yeah, I have been playing on PS5 Pro, by the way, the Space Marine 2 Pro update or whatever. It's very good. So, yeah, I think on console right now, the game's in a pretty good spot, even though I do hear some horror stories from Xbox players. But honestly, I hear horror stories from Xbox players for, like, every new game. I don't know what's going on with Xbox, guys. Let me know in the comments. I know some of you guys are, you know, you're like, oh, I play on Xbox, never ran into an issue. That's great. Maybe it's like a connection thing. I don't know. Regardless, yeah, if Xbox isn't working for you, I hope they get it together. Anyway, let's continue. New operations and prestige perks to unlock, which gives me something to do when I'm playing nothing but Bulwark for 300 hours straight. This was my first experience with 40k in any capacity, and man, it's been a good one. Yeah, that's definitely a good perspective to have. As far as like actual problems, the devs had fixed pretty much everything. When it comes to like cosmetics, sure, it's annoying. Sure, there's room for criticism. It's not going to kill my game if they put out some crappy shoulder pad. Like, I don't care. I Here's the thing. I right now, at the moment, for cosmetics, I have more than enough to get creative with, and all the new stuff, obviously, I've been kind of, you know, I haven't been ignoring it, but it just hasn't hit my attention yet. But yeah, eventually I will definitely get to, you know, the Deathwatch shield. That does sound very cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about the devs fixing some of your, you know, biggest issues, essentially. And that is why feedback, even negative, is important. Instead of toxic positivity and, oh, devs said nothing is beyond their power, so I guess we have to live with it. Well, okay, what? I don't think anyone said that about the timer. Oh, the devs said nothing is beyond their power. They didn't even say nothing. They acknowledged the timer issue, right? They said, hey, you guys don't like the timer. Well, here's the reason why it exists, and we'll figure it out. And they figured it out, so more power to them. I really don't see too much toxic positivity with this game. Like, the only time I see the devs get praise is in situations like this, where they actually pull through, you know? And I think ultimately, yeah, feedback is good. And I didn't really see any harsh feedback regardless. I think feedback so far with the devs has been pretty balanced. The only time when people get a little crazy is with cosmetics. I don't get it. I do not get it. But okay, let's continue. Well, would you look at that? They found a solution with a little bit of pushback. Okay, with a little bit of pushback. We did it, guys. We did it. we bullied the devs into fixing their game. No, that's not what this person is saying either. That's not. I'm just, you know, I'm using some hyperbole to just, you know, make light of the situation. As far as the devs pulling off a nice fix for the game, yes, definitely a big W. I really hope, now this, again, this might be the next thing that the devs might get flack for, but I really hope they start to add some of these Warhammer Plus free cosmetics, whatever, Twitch drop cosmetics. I really hope they start to add these in the game. Like, maybe not even in next patch, maybe not even the patch after that, because we're going to get other cosmetics, but eventually, you know what I mean? Maybe a hot fix or something. It would be nice. It would be nice. But yeah, ultimately, yes, feedback is very important. That's mostly why we discuss these issues and everything. And I think this is a great moment to kind of circle back to see if there's any other bugs in the PTS that the devs might have not addressed, or maybe we haven't even seen yet. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've been playing the PTS. Let me know in the comments if the devs addressed your biggest concern with the game, specifically your biggest concern. But yeah, ultimately, I'm very happy with what we are getting in the game. I'm very happy with the state of the game. I've been doing a lot of just, you know, casual grinding and just trying to make sure that my characters can get to a point where they are ready for siege mode. And yeah, ultimately, if I, you know, jump into siege mode with a, I don't know, tactical's pretty much prestige 4. I think my sniper right now is still prestige 2, maybe prestige 3. But so yeah, so if I have like a prestige 3 level 22 sniper, as long as I have purification, I should be fine. Not to mention, sniper's weapons are really good also. Yeah, so if just in case you're curious, you can definitely jump into normal siege mode, whatever level you are. It's just hard siege mode is definitely going to be for prestige 4 players, ultimately. Or prestige 4 characters. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about the devs addressing issues, because I think this is another nice look at when the devs also kind of, you know, meet up with us in the middle a bit. As far as, you know, the devs actually listening to our feedback, they do that very well. They definitely meet us, and, you know, they definitely want to improve the game for the people who are playing it, and it's very nice that they are focusing more on fixing things than adding, you know, cosmetics. But it seems like they're doing both, apparently, because, yeah, there's a new Warhammer Plus cosmetic. Go get it if you want. I don't. I hate doing that stuff. I already talked about this with the other chains, the chainsword, you know, skins and everything. I hate going to third-party apps to get, like, a cosmetic for a game, and, like, it's really a nitpick, but I really don't want to put a code, a 9-digit code into my game or whatever. I don't know. I just hope they put those free extra cosmetics into the game eventually. That's like my only concern at the moment. They address spore mines. Spore mines are now doing less damage. Maybe Bivors can be a point of contention for people who are playing the game currently, because I know people hate Bivors. But I have to admit, once you know how to approach Bivors and take them out, as long as, you know, you have them on your screen, you can take them out pretty quick. It's when they start to hide behind other waves, they can be a little bit more dangerous. So yeah, ultimately, big W for the devs. Very happy they were able to fix the timer issue, and ultimately we need to hear more. We need to hear more from them to see exactly what they fixed. But hey, you know what? They seem pretty confident, so I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.